Hello, we're going to have a go at making pincushions out of things that you might have at home that you're not using anymore. So I do a lot of teacup pincushions, like this one. This is my trusty one that I take around with me. They are quite robust actually, the bone china ones. But I'm going to have a go at using an old egg cup. So this is one I've had for ages because I love the colour. But it's not very good as an egg cup because it's got a great big crack down it. You can see that there. So I'm going to turn it into something else. I found some fabric that I really love as well. This is a cotton lawn, but you can use any kind of fabric that is easy to work with. Polycotton, felt, anything that you're comfortable that maybe you've got lying around at home. Again, shirting, sheeting, old duvets, pillowcases, anything, clothing that you've cut up you can use. In order to measure roughly the right size for your circle, if you take your piece of fabric and pop your items, so whether it is an egg cup or a teacup or anything, you're looking at about, you want to go about 2 to 2.5 inches from the edge of the lip of the vessel that you're using. So it needs to be at least 2.5 inches bigger than the actual entrance opening to your pot or your cup. There we go. So I've cut that into the circle. So I drew around it and then I've cut it into the circle. Now all we're going to do is take, again, needle and thread, any needle, and we're going to work keeping the good side needs to be on the opposite side to where you're stitching. So start off about 1/2 centimetre, maybe even more from the edge, between 1/2 centimetre and 1 centimetre I would say from the edge, and you're going to secure your knot. So it's a double thread with a knot at the end. Just secure it with a stitch, so you're pulling it through on itself, and we're going to do a running stitch again all the way around. There we go. And again, similar to the rosettes tutorial that I did, you'll find your own way of doing a running stitch quite quickly. I tend to keep my needle still and use the fabric to go over the top, but you can of course do any way that you feel more comfortably. And as you get a bit further around, you're going to pull that, and it's going to what you're aiming for is to make a little pouch, and you want to make sure that you've got your stitches coming in to the inside, and then you've got your right side of the fabric facing out. And it doesn't need to be too tight at the moment, so just overlap that knot that where you started just by 1 stitch and pull it tight-ish, but you want it nice and equal all the way round. So there we have our little pouch. And then I've got some stuffing. Now this is actually, I find the best stuffing is out of cushions, old cushions, or you can, if you've got pillows and things that are made out of this kind of fibre. It is actually, to get a cushion, it is actually cheaper than buying the toy stuffing that you can also use. And also with a pillow or a cushion that you've bought from a shop, it is still anti-flammable, so you've got all the trademark, the safety mark there as well. So just give it a little fluff, and we're going to just stuff the little pouch. And it takes more than you think actually, because you want the pincushion to be nice and firm. You don't want it to be floppy, because otherwise the pins don't stay in and it's not as easy to put the pins in and out. There we go. So this is the fiddly bit, is to make sure that you've got as much stuffing in as you need. And I tend to hold it and then just gently draw our little pouch together. So that could actually take a bit more stuffing. And this is the bit that you want to take a bit of time at, because once you get it, it is fiddly and it might spring out, but persevere. There we go. So you're pulling it together, and the reason you've done a nice big knot at the beginning and you've got double thread is so that you can actually put a nice bit of pressure on there. So pull it together, and as you're doing that, you'll see that it's not circular at the moment. Don't worry. Pull it nice and tight, and as you're holding it, you want to just put your needle through and secure it. And again, just for safety. So the knots that I do, you just do a stitch, and then before you pull the stitch, you just bring your needle through. And there we go. So I'll just grab my scissors, snip that off. And as you see, it's not too bad, but it's not 100% there yet. So you just give it a little prod, a little poke and a squish around, so you can just make it so it's got a nice, you're never going to see this bottom bit, so you just need to have a nice evenish look around the outside. And that's pretty much there for the top, because as you're putting it in, it will settle and it will go nice and round. There we go. I think that's pretty much there. So we're going to take some acrylic glue. Now you can use any type of glue that has got a really good stick. It doesn't have to be fabric glue, it can be anything. It can be the clear Bosticky type glues. Obviously I'm using Stamps Away acrylic glue because it's my favourite glue ever. And you just put a little blob all the way around the edge. There we go. So I've used quite a bit, and I'm just going to let that set for a couple of seconds. I'm going to faff with this again, just to make sure I'm completely happy with it. And while that sets, I'm going to have a little delve into bits and pieces that I've got to decorate. I've got some little tiny roses that came off some old lace. I never throw any lace away. Oh, there's a little charm, little safety pin charm I might use, and I think I'll put like that colour. I'm going to put a little button on it. Clean that up, and maybe a little pearl button. There we go. That should be okay now. And what I'm going to do is just offer that up, and going round, you just want gentle little push to get inside. What you don't want to do is put it in too far and pull it out, because then you're going to get glue all over. So just massage it in there, and so you can be quite tough with it, and just check how you want it to look, and I think that's okay. And then I'm going to grab some pins just to decorate up with. Different types of pins I've got, and I think we'll have one of these and a little pearl button. There we go, and then maybe my other button I quite liked. There. And a final one I'll pop with, in fact, let's put on exactly what it's there for. A little needle in there as well. There we go. Ooh. He's just sat there. And there is our little pincushion, and that's brilliant as a little gift. Little thing just to sit on your sewing table. Anything. So have fun, use up all your old bits and pieces that are at home. We'll see you on the next one.